Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, August 26th. The month is winding to a close, and the literate Texan Randy Ray, am not feeling well today. One of the side effects of the medications that I'm on is an incredible amount of fatigue. So I have plans tomorrow that I'm resting up for because I'm spending the day with a special lady friend. Excuse me. And my plan today is to do absolutely nothing except read and nap. Not necessarily in that order either. But I thought it would be fun, since I'm not doing anything else today, to have my own little personal mini readathon here for Saturday. You know, I see people sometimes, they do these I read for 24 hours straight kind of things. And I think that's a little nuts because, you know, in any 24-hour period, I got to have 8 or 9 hours of sleep. But it did occur to me that at the speed with which I read, I might be able to read 1,000 pages in a day. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. I'm going to try to read 1,000 pages today. We'll see if I succeed at that. I don't know. It depends on how many naps I take and how long they take, and also how well my eyes hold up, because my eyes get funny too. But I've already got my stack of books picked out. I've got my This Might Be Whiskey coffee mug to drink coffee out of this morning. I'm feeling pretty good. I'll show you what I've got on my readathon TBR here in front of me. And I'm not sure which of these I'm going to read or in what order, but I've talked about this one before. It is still Book Trek. We've got 7 more days of Book Trek, or 6, I don't know, I don't count very well. And I've got Crucible, McCoy, Provenance of Shadows, which I have read before and might read again. And it's really gonna be fun. I think I probably will read this today. It's a long old book though for paperback. Golly whiz, this is 627 pages long. Doesn't look that thick, does it? So I may read that. I also might read This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't know how to pronounce that. This is one of the fantasy and science fiction novels that made it on Steve Donahue's list of the 10 best fantasy and science fiction books of the year for 2022. And I've only read one of those 10 books on his list. That was Last Exit by Max Gladstone. But it was so great. And it's not something, the Last Exit by Max Gladstone is not something I would have picked up ordinarily, because I didn't like Max Gladstone's previous book, This Is How You Lose the Time War, even though literally everybody else who talks about it seemed to like it except for me. But anyway, this one, I didn't even think to see how many pages this is. 495 pages. Well, between it and the Dr. McCoy book, that would be 1,000 pages right there. If I could finish those 2 books today, that'd be an achievement. But I got 5 books stacked up here. I haven't decided which ones. I only know of one that I'm for sure going to read. I'm a huge fan of Ann Tyler, by the way. And I've got French Braid here, which I've been meaning to read for quite a while. It keeps showing up on my TBR list. And it keeps getting shunted off to the side temporarily because it doesn't fit into any of the BookTube projects or events. And I'm trying to balance myself between reading for BookTube events and reading stuff that I really want to read. But I love Ann Tyler's books, and there's a lot of them, probably 30 that she's written. But, as usual, it's about an eccentric family. So you can count on that when you're reading an Ann Tyler book. This one's 244 pages. I could finish that one fairly quickly. It depends on what I'm reading, but I generally read about 50 or 60 pages per hour, which, is probably painfully slow for some people and incredibly fast for others. But if I'm reading something really light, I can read 90 to 100 pages per hour. So far, none of the stuff that I've shown up here looks incredibly light, but I don't know. I haven't read these books yet. So also, I've got the 3rd book in Richard Russo's Fool trilogy, Somebody's Fool. And I barely remember the 2nd book in the trilogy, but that's not going to stop me from reading this. Nobody's Fool, of course, I remember very well because I've read the book at least twice and I've seen the movie countless times. I'm a big Richard Russo fan, man. I think he can do no wrong. He's terrific. Anyway, this one looks like it's how long? why don't they put the page number on the last page of the book? Sometimes they don't. 443 pages here, so it looks like I'm probably going to wind up reading 2 or 3 books today, tops, if I achieve my goal of 1,000 pages. And there's no guarantee that I'm going to achieve my goal of 1,000 pages. And I'm not particularly worried about it. It's just something to do, something to talk about. In fact, we were talking, I don't remember who, but several Booktubers and I have talked occasionally about the whole toxic productivity thing that goes on, especially here on BookTube. It's all about how many books you read or whatever. It doesn't matter how many books you read, it just doesn't, because it's just such an imperfect metric, because if I'm reading books that are 250 pages, I'll read twice as many books in a year as if I were reading books with 500 pages. So what does that mean? Nothing. Doesn't mean anything. So anyway, I'm in the middle of and close to the end of Emily Henry's Happy Place, which when I finish this, I will have read all of Emily Henry's books, which some people are surprised that I'm into. Priscilla over at the evening reading was teasing me about my love of Emily Henry romance novels. But yeah, I'm probably about 2/3 of the way finished with this one. I'm on page 268. And it's exactly 400 pages long, so I've got 132 pages left. So I'll probably finish that in an hour or two. That is light reading, by the way. That I read 90 to 100 words per hour when I'm reading Emily Henry. And it's good, but it's not as funny as the last Emily Henry novel that I read, which I really loved, Book Lovers. Book Lovers was terrific. The other 2 books that I read by her were good too, but Book Lovers has definitely been her best so far. And part of the reason I'm reading Happy Place with Emily Henry is because my daughter really likes it. It gives us something to talk about. Any chance I get to relate to my daughter on a book that we can both read or that we're both reading, I take it. She's not as eager to accept my recommendations for books, however. I'm trying to get her to read Saint Maybe by Ann Tyler, which is one of my favorite Ann Tyler novels, and she hasn't even started it. Can you imagine? The nerve of that child. One of these days, I'm going to talk her into coming onto the show. We've talked about it multiple times, and I don't know why she doesn't want to come on the show, because she's beautiful, and she's brilliant, and she's well-spoken, so this will be right up her alley. I actually have twin daughters, by the way. The other one, there's no way Maddie, Mary's the one I was just talking about. Maddie is also beautiful, brilliant, and well-spoken. But there's no way I'm going to get Maddie on camera. She's just not going to do it. For one thing, if it's my idea, it's a no. And for another thing, she's just, got a little anxiety and stuff like that. But maybe one of these days, maybe for their birthday, I can get them both to come on here. But anyway, I'll probably post another video either late tonight or early tomorrow morning before my guest arrives, discussing how far along I got in my readathon today. But wish me luck. I'm off to read 1,000 pages and take some naps. Oh, it's still hot out there. Stay hydrated. Thanks for watching.